Prime Minister Andrew Holness now in the Republic of Korea for climate conference. 3 million trees in 3 years initiative launched, and the region's largest solar power farm opens in Westmoreland. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Anthony Morgan. Jamaica's proposal for a Caribbean green bond listing on the Jamaica Stock Exchange has been approved by the Green Climate Fund (GCF). This will see the island drawing down nearly $483,000 from the GCF to make the Jamaican business environment climate smart and sustainable.
Jamaica actively advocates and will continue to advocate for increased and enhanced access to climate finance from both public and private sector sources.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness made the announcement Monday morning as he addressed the Green Climate Fund Private Investment for Climate Conference. The October 7 to 9 summit is being held in Incheon, the Republic of Korea. While in Korea, Mr. Holness met with the GCF's Deputy Executive Director, the Jamaican Diaspora, and spoke at a panel discussion titled Raising the Bar, Moving Forward with Climate Change Ambitions. Early in the week, the Prime Minister was in the U.S. capital of Washington, D.C. At a dinner hosted by the Jamaican Embassy in the U.S. capital, Prime Minister Holness told the gathering that he would be pursuing greater social partnerships to transform the island.
If we can do that for debt, then we can do it for crime and violence in the country. We can do it for infrastructure. We can do it for public sector reform. And we can do it to bring corruption under control.
While in Washington, D.C., Mr. Holness met with U.S. Vice President Mike Pence. Those talks centered on Jamaica-U.S. cooperation in security, trade, disaster recovery, and other areas. Prime Minister Holness also visited the headquarters of the Inter-American Development Bank, the IDB. He discussed key elements of Jamaica's country program with IDB officials, including President Luis Alberto Moreno. Back in Jamaica Tuesday, Mr. Holness sought a 90-day extension of the state of public emergency in the St. Andrews South Police Division. During the sitting of the House of Representatives, the Prime Minister disclosed that over the 84 days since the special security measure has been in place, murders, shootings, and rapes have been halved.
If we continue with the measures, we will have 2 consecutive periods of reduction in murders. And that's very important. It is important to get momentum. Very important that criminals understand that there is a consensus amongst lawmakers to have a firm handle on crime.
Members of Parliament agreed and voted to continue the state of emergency until January 4, 2020. The Prime Minister meanwhile told the House that government would be meeting with the opposition to reach an agreement on ways to tackle crime.
I will be meeting with the leader of the opposition. We will hopefully reach some consensus as to how we should move forward. And I think Jamaica will look at us in a far better light.
Still in Parliament Tuesday, Mr. Holness announced that the National Water Commission would be relaxing water restrictions in the corporate area. This, he said, followed word that the Mona and Hermitage dams were over 50% of their capacity.
I think the level of frustration that the public is experiencing is tremendously high, and it would be not easy to explain to people why we're having rain and then they still can't get water. So we will have to relax, but we still are very cautious. So we're not going to just totally abandon all our conservation methods, but we will relax so that people can get water now.
And the Prime Minister said the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation's budget for 2019-2020 would be reworked. The review is to accommodate the rehabilitation of 215 roads across the island, which have either been blocked or badly damaged by flood events in recent months. Mr. Holness said the repair bill stood at $640 million and continues to climb.
So we are going to go and look back at our budget, look back at the budget specifically for the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation to see what we can cut, postpone, change in order to make some allocations.
Wednesday saw the Prime Minister in Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland, to open the 37-megawatt Paradise Park solar farm.
This is a signal to investors. It's a signal to the OUR. It's a signal to JPS. It's a signal to our financial market. It is a signal to the citizens of the country that your government is doing everything it can to ensure that we are protecting our own environment by using cleaner energy.
The $65 million investment is the largest of its kind in the English-speaking Caribbean and has the capacity to power 78,000 households. With 17% of Jamaica's electricity needs being supplied by renewable sources, the Prime Minister challenged regulators to push for 50% by 2030. And while in Westmoreland, Mr. Holness viewed progress being made on the $24.9 million Ferris to Macfield Road improvement work. The Prime Minister said the 14-kilometer roadway was 95% complete. Mr. Holness also took time to look at work being done to rebuild the Paradise Bridge, which collapsed in October 2018. Works on the $48 million bridge are advanced and should be completed soon.
I think the people of Westmoreland, particularly the communities along this road, are very happy. It will increase commerce, it will increase the comfort of travel, and I think it will also spur economic development.
And at Jamaica House Friday, the Prime Minister launched a national tree planting initiative under the theme 3 million trees in 3 years. Plant a tree today for a prosperous tomorrow. The 3-year program seeks to plant over 3 million timber and ornamental trees to combat climate change. To be spearheaded by the Forestry Department, the initiative is expected to employ over 1,000 HOPE program interns. Prime Minister Holness used the launch to urge greater private and public sector support for the project. Before that, Mr. Holness was at Caenwood High School to open a new state-of-the-art ICT Centre. Valued at $12 million, the centre is fully air-conditioned with 42 new computers, audiovisual equipment, a 65-inch television, high-speed internet and Wi-Fi. The Prime Minister, who is also a Member of Parliament for the area, committed to renovating the high school. And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more of the news stories coming out of the Office of the Prime Minister.